Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. I'm back again for another video. Morning, everyone. This is the deadline stream for Gaming 31. So I am very much looking forward to this one. As you can see, it's just me for now. Jordan will be joining the stream about halfway through. He will be joining shortly. Game Week 31. Very quick turnaround from Game Week 30. So not a lot of time to really, think and go into it. But I'll be discussing transfers and also chip strategy and also taking all your questions. So drop your questions in, guys, if you have any questions. Also, make sure you do like the stream while you come into the stream, and please also hit that subscribe button as well, please. So I'll kick it off with my team first. This is the bus team currently you see on the screen. So in goal, I've got Raya, who has Everton away. Not sure what to make of this fixture. I think this could be a tricky one. It's a 12:30 kickoff away at Goodison Park. We know Everton don't have much to play for, but Arsenal do have one eye on that Champions League game, I believe, midweek. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal take this game. Do they rotate a little bit, which will be a worry? We'll come in on to Saka in a second. But yeah, moving on to the back line. As you can see on my third last bench, Gabriel is injured. He's out for the season after picking up a hamstring injury, which is unfortunate because he was sort of a set and forget for me in my team. But now he's injured. I have to deal with it. Unfortunately, I was planning on taking out Gabriel for Saliba last night. And for those that keep an eye on the price rises, Saliba went up in price yesterday by 0.1, and then Gabriel went down by 0.1. So that is a bit frustrating. I didn't catch the price rise because I was looking to do Gabriel to Saliba. I had an early night, completely forgot about the deadline, completely forgot about the price rises and price drops. So I didn't manage to do the transfers in time because I sort of got an early night yesterday. So yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't catch the price rise. But I do have 0.2 million in the bank currently. So I can do Gabriel to Saliba, leaving me with 0.0 in the bank. I can still do it. And I might still do that today. But as you can see, I've got Burns starting against Leicester. I've got Munoz starting against Brighton. And I've got Konsa starting against Nottingham Forest at home as well. So I'm not keen on doing Saliba now. I might just leave it. And it's something I do maybe next week in Game Week 32. I'm happy to play Konsa against Forest as well at home, I think. Not a bad fixture. I don't have much bench in terms of the defense because Kusanov, as you see on the bench, he wasn't involved in the last game for Man City. So there is a slight worry there with Kusanov. If Konsa misses out, would Kusanov play? But moving on to the midfield, I've got Murphy, Foden, Saka, and Salah. The only worry here is a couple of worries really. Foden, another one, didn't come on off the bench. Now Foden is a bit of a talking point because a lot of Game Week 30 wildcarders went with Phil Foden in our teams. If you are wildcarding in Game Week 31, I would stay away from Foden personally. I don't think I'd go there now. I'd sort of regret bringing Foden in because, I've seen some comments of Foden that he's struggling with things outside of football. And maybe that's affected him and him playing. So that sort of worries me about his minutes going forward. With Foden, I'm going to give him another game. I'm going to see if he plays in the derby. If he misses that Man United game, then I probably will have to sell Foden. So he's someone you hold on to, but you definitely won't be buying him either. Saka, slight worry with Saka is a minutes risk. We know he was on the bench against Fulham. He came on for sort of the last, I think, 20 minutes, and he did come on and score. But they have Real Madrid, which is the most important game of Arsenal's season, fair to say. So how many minutes is he going to play? I very doubt he plays 90 minutes against Everton. I'll be surprised. So that's the worry with Saka. Salah, Fulham away. It's a tougher game for Liverpool. Salah didn't have his greatest games against Everton. He wasn't really involved as he has been this season. But it is Salah. And yeah, in terms of captaincy, as you can see, I've got it over Salah because he was sort of my go-to option last game week. But I am considering a captaincy switch to Isak. I am tempted to captain Isak this week. The only reason I haven't gone Isak was because the flag's been there since game week 30 ended, and yeah, that is the slight worry with Isak. What is his minutes and fitness like? It is a Monday night game, I think, for Newcastle. So I think Eddie Howe did come out and say as well, like, he should be fine. But that's the only thing making me a bit hesitant. But Isak, I was going to captain Isak against Leicester this week. Mateta against Brighton, and then Marmoush against Man United completes the rest of the team. So yeah, I think I'm quite happy with the attack. It's just hopefully Isak does start. Harry says, hello, Haas. Do you think Saka will start today, or do I just go Palmer instead? This is the one. If you have Palmer already, I'd just be tempted to keep Palmer now for another game week, because Palmer plays who is it? Let me have a look. Yeah, Brentford, sorry. Palmer has Brentford away tomorrow. Tomorrow around 2:00 kickoff. So I would be tempted just to keep Palmer in this case, and I wouldn't be transferring Palmer in though. I don't think. I don't know if I'd be bringing Palmer in, because you probably will want to bring Saka in for that double. If Saka proves his fitness, etc., I would want Saka for that double game week 33. So that double game week 33, I believe the Real Madrid games will be done by then as well. So we will know if Arsenal are out the Champions League before they play Ipswich, right? So if Arsenal do get knocked out against Madrid, they'll have nothing else to play for, just trying to finish as high as possible, get as much amount of points as they can. So if Arsenal do get knocked out against Madrid, and Saka comes through unscathed, he plays good minutes against Madrid and the likes of Brentford, then I would be looking to bringing him in for Ipswich and Palace in the double, because I think that's a really good double for Arsenal. At least the Ipswich fixture is. I mean, Palace could be a bit tough, but it's still a good double game week. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't be bringing Saka in right now if I had Palmer. I wouldn't be bringing Palmer in either, if that makes sense. I'm using my wild card, so I can choose any of the two. Ooh, okay. It's your up to you, Harry, if you want to take that risk, because I think I still would go Palmer. I would go Palmer and keep a keep a transfer in mind, that I'm gonna have to use a transfer to take Palmer out. So you'll essentially be planning a transfer ahead, and you'll have to keep that one free transfer in 33. If you don't want to take the transfer hit, if you don't want to forward plan a transfer, then yeah, just go for Palmer. But it's up to you and what you think of Saka. Do you really think you're going to want him for the double? I'm assuming you will want him for the double. So if you want to do it early, bring it forward. It's a tough one to say as a Saka owner myself, because if I was wildcarding right now, I think I still would include Saka, but I'd know the minutes are risky, and I'd also know I'll have to use a transfer. I have to book in a transfer essentially. But yeah, any other questions, guys? Drop them in the chat. I'm just looking at I mean, we're not really going to get any team news, I don't think, either. Arsenal is the early kickoff, so we might get a leak. I'm hoping we get a Saka leak. If we get a Saka leak that he starts, then yeah, I'd say bring him in, and we should get something regarding Saka. Being early kickoff, we do sometimes get news. Bit of news from Craig Hope from the Daily Mail, who is a fairly reliable journalist from Newcastle camp. He has said, he just tweeted saying, for all the FPLers in my DMs and asking comments, yes, I think Isak will be fine. So just kind of come on to this question, Ali Mac. Craig Hope from Twitter, he's a Daily Mail journalist, reports for Newcastle. He says, I think Isak will be fine. Now, that's not to say 100%, but, make of that what you will. That's a journalist that I do think is fairly reliable for Newcastle News. So if that's the case, I will be captaining Isak and Salah's vice. So I was going to be on Isak captain anyway if he wasn't didn't have the flag. Yeah. Soul Searcher, yes, bro. YouTube shadow banning your channel or something hardly comes up on search. Possible. I mean, I think what maybe because I know it was certain smaller channels. I think the algorithm, it depends on. That's why I always, bang on to all our viewers. If you can like the stream, it really helps the channel massively because if you don't like the video, it won't show up on the on the YouTube page. So if everyone could like it, everyone could share it as well to your friends, social media, etc. That would always help out. So we don't ask for much, just likes as very much appreciated. Salah, Murphy, Bowen, and Burmo, Bruno, Evan Nilsson, Isak, and Marmoush. Bench one. For me, let me see who West Ham play because I'm not keen on West Ham. But I know they've got a decent fixture against Bournemouth at home. I would probably go Bowen personally, or I think I'd go Bowen in your case. It's a tough one because you probably don't want to bench Bowen, but you can't bench Salah. Murphy's got a good game against Leicester. Bowen plays at home to Evan Nilsson, but Evan Nilsson, I just trust Bournemouth a bit more. Isak, you can't bench. Marmoush, you can't bench. And Burmo has Chelsea, I think, so at home. So I wouldn't want to bench him. Burmo, we know he's on pens. Bruno is another one. I would just probably sell Bruno for someone, but then that might give you a benching headache. So out of those, I probably would go Bowen. I've not really been impressed much with West Ham. Harry, Raya, Saliba, Munoz, Livramento, Salah, Palmer, Rashford, Murphy, Marmoush, Mateta, Isak, bench, Martinez, Sarr, Vardiol, and Konsa. Would you start anyone from the bench? I don't think I would. I think you've got it set up pretty good, Harry. Only transfer I'd make is I don't think you need it. You can roll. Your team looks fine, so I wouldn't be worried if I was you. I'll just roll the transfer and move on to game week 32. That's what I plan to do, guys. As you see, I've got Gabriel third bench. I wanted to do Gabriel to Saliba last night to catch the price rises. I can still afford it. It will leave me with 0.0 in the bank, but I've decided I'm going to roll because if I did bring Saliba in, would I really play him this week? Got Leicester for Burn and Munoz has Brighton, and then Konza has Forest at home. So I'm not against avoiding the double Arsenal defense, and hopefully Everton can get a goal. Are you bench boosting soon? Yeah, I am. I've still got my bench boost, and I'm gonna do the same as you. Bench boost 33, and then I'm gonna use my free hit in game week 34, like yourself. So, yeah, I am going to. The only thing as well, because I'm gonna be bench boosting in 33, I'll need to deal with Gabriel, because obviously I can't bench boost with him. So, I'm probably gonna do Gabriel to Saliba, and I'll have to do who else? I might have to even sell the likes of Kusanov, unfortunately, because or even Foden, I might even have to take a -4, which is annoying. I didn't want to do it, but if I don't get any good minutes from Kusanov or Foden in this Man United game, and then even game week 32, I'll have no choice but to take extra hits. Have you used your triple captain? Yep, yeah, I have. I used it in game week 9 for Haaland in a single game week, and it didn't really pay off. He only got 1 goal, so yep, I have used the triple captain. Hi, Huss. Start Bruno or Mikel Merino. I'll try start both if you can, and play 3 defenders. But if I had to pick out of one of them, I would still probably play Bruno. I think I know Mikel Merino has been scoring and gotten. He played well against Fulham, but I think Bruno, even though it's a tough fixture against Man United are at home. Bruno's on penalties. It's the type of game where there could be a penalty in a derby. I just don't know. I'd back Bruno in this type of game. And yeah, as you guys can see as well, like I did get a small red arrow in game week 30, so I need a big week. Hopefully I can get it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll. Really not happy about playing Foden. Do I play Sarr instead of Foden is the question. Because just thinking now, is Foden actually going to start? Hi mate, when's the best time to play at AM and who are you to use it on? I would say this week. Mate. You probably want to play on Eddie Howe. This week, and then you have a double next week. I'd play Sarr. Yeah, it's a tough one because the Palace assets. I wasn't impressed with the Palace assets in the last game, but I just feel like you can't bench Foden. I think I'm going to give Foden his last chance. If he doesn't start against Man United, I'd have to seriously, consider taking him out for another Man City asset because I do want a Man City asset for that double in 33. It might be Savinho, who I regret now. I was looking at Savinho and keeping him, but I ended up switching it to Foden and then switching out Guardiola to Kusanov. Those risks, it seems now. Yep. But yeah, in terms of assistant manager, going back to your question, I'd go triple Newcastle. Yeah, I would have said maybe sell the Newcastle defender. If you've got Livramento, if you've got Dan Burn, sell them so you can get the triple Newcastle in because I'm not sure who else you'd go to in that case. I'm just trying to think who else you can go to. I don't really like any other managers. Yeah, you probably have to sell a Newcastle defender, and so you can fit it in because the whole point, obviously, with the for me, the assistant manager is the most powerful chip in the game. It's more powerful than the bench boost or anything. So you got to get that right. And if you were gonna use it this week, I would have left a spot for Newcastle. Is Rashford a minute's risk? Villa have so many attackers now, and they also have PSG next week. Yeah, I think he is. I think Rashford is a bit of a risk, but he's a risk that could be worth it. I wouldn't bring Rashford in right now. I'd want to see how he does. Does he start? Give him another couple of games before their double because I think Villa double in 33 as well. So I'd wait till the double before I bring in any Villa assets. I don't think there's any rush to bring Rashford in this week because Villa have Forest at home. So I wouldn't be rushing to bring the Villa assets in now. Foden never recovered from that curry at the start of the season. Should have never won Player of the Year. Now, he was really good last season, to be fair. But yeah, he's not been right this season. I think it's fair to say as well. Would you keep Howe for 3 straight games? No, I probably would keep Howe for 2 games, and then in game week 33, I'd probably go to Arteta. So Howe for 2 game weeks, and then Arteta for the 3rd game week. Gabriel and Chris Wood replacements. In terms of Gabriel, if you want to be boring and you can go straight from Gabriel to Saliba, which I think I'm going to do. You could also go to the Forest defenders like a Nico Williams or a Milenkovic because Forest have some decent fixtures as well. Chris Wood, I think is easy. Isak, if you haven't got him, Teta, Marmoush, the 3 I've got up front, any one of those, and you're good to go, I think. Yeah. It's not long left now, I mean, in terms of the season. Game week 31 already. Yeah, I'm gonna captain. Let us know who you're captaining, guys, in the chat. Are you on Isak captain as well, like myself, or are you on someone like Palmer? Brandon with a comment: best wildcard when you don't have a free hit. Um, I still think you want to have similar players. I still think it's not going to be much different, and you're just going to have to take hits, etc. When it comes to the blank, like Jordan's in that position as well, where he doesn't have a free hit. So I think you still want the likes of Isak. I mean, Isak is a great option. I know he does have a fixture in 34, but you'd want Isak in your team. Even Arsenal, you'd want at least. I know they're blank, but you'd want at least an Arsenal. Maybe you want to avoid Arsenal defenders if you don't believe they can keep clean sheets. Liverpool, obviously, Spurs in 34. Man City, you'd want Marmoush regardless of his blank, I think. So yeah, I would still certain players. I think you have to still have like Marmoush and Isak. Even Saka, you'd want him for the double. Palace, they have a blank. I still believe you'd want at least a Palace asset, and then you have to deal with it with transfers. I think, but the fixtures aren't the greatest for Palace, and you look at it, but then they do have that double, which is big. It's 2 tough away games, but Palace can cause problems on their day. So yeah, I wouldn't differ too much away from a normal wild card. Obviously, you might not want to have as many blank players, but it's hard to ignore the likes of Marmoush, etc. For assistant manager, can you only have 2 players in that team? No, 3, including the manager. So you can have 3 players from the same team. So if you've got 2 Newcastle assets, your third one could be Eddie Howe. You can't have 3 Newcastle players and Eddie Howe. That becomes 4 from the same team. So you won't be able to do that. Would you take a punt in getting Son for a hit? Nope, not me personally. I mean, Son's got Southampton. It is a nice fixture, but I just can't get on board with Spurs at the moment. I just think, I just don't see the point in that regard. Don't see why you'd want to, personally.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
I'm alright.
How you doing?
Yeah, all good. Apologies for the delay for me in the stream, but yeah, I've made it. Finally. But yeah, nice to see everyone.
Yeah, I'll just we were just chatting about captaincy as well. I'm on Isak captain. Just to let you know, Isak's sort of rumors are he should be fine for that game against Leicester on Monday. So I'm going to captain Isak. And in terms of transfers, I don't know if you've seen Jordan last night. Gabriel went up in price, Gabriel went down in price, and Saliba went up in price. I wish I did it yesterday because the plan was to do Gabriel to Saliba. But because I missed the price rise anyway, I can still afford it. I can still do Gabriel to Saliba right now because I've got 0.2 in the bank. But I think I'm going to leave it now because even if I bought Saliba in, who do I bench out of these guys? It'll probably have to be Konsa against Forest at home, and I'm quite happy to just keep Konsa and play him, and then reassess because I know I'm going to need time to think, and I'd rather think with time on my hands and with 2 free transfers for game week 32.
Yeah, I think you can afford to save the transfer because Arsenal don't double until 33, I believe.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 weeks still to consider Gabriel before.
Yeah, it's just a price rise. It's a bit annoying, but it should be fine.
Yeah, as long as you're not priced out of your moves, that should be good.
Yeah, let's bring up your boss team anyway. Are you rolling as well, or are you going to make a transfer?
I'm still going to make a transfer from my team. And it is an obvious one. Let me just...
Also, one thing I want to do as well, I want to see your FPL.team. I want to see your FPL.team transfer planning till the blank and how you're going to navigate that. I'm interested to see because I'm going to come on to that as well because I've got the free hit.
Yeah, sure, I can bring that up after.
Okay.
But yeah,
what's
this
the
is the
plan?
current. Yeah, this is the current team on the screen. People in goal: Munoz, Milenkovic, Aitner in the back, Salah, Fernandez, Palmer, and Burma in the midfield, and the forwards is at Marmoush and Wissa, with Sarr, Huijsen, Mikolenko on the bench. The captain is Salah at the moment, and the vice is on Palmer currently. So transfer plans. If I go to the other page, because I have one free transfer with 0.8 million in the bank. So the most obvious one I can see is obviously Fernandez as he plays against Man City this weekend. And I've never been a fan of Man United assets, but I only really wanted Fernandez when he played Leicester. So I don't think I want to keep him any longer. So I am going to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
And the player I'm considering to bring in, I'll split between two players for this. It was either going to be Rashford or Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
To place in this, and I think I'm still thinking of going to Rodgers now instead of Rashford. I think I will have Rashford too. I will have to think about it, but I do want Rodgers alongside him.
Would you play Rodgers this week if you bring him in? Would you start him? Who would you bench?
Yes, I would bench Sarr, who's got Brighton at home, and play Rodgers against Nottingham Forest at home.
Okay.
That was in any doubt, if Isaac isn't obviously available for his game against Leicester, then that means Sarr does come on as the auto sub.
Yeah.
Which would be a nice outcome if that happens, but yeah, I think I have to bench Sarr.
So also, I believe, let me just double check, with Rodgers as well. Rodgers is another blank Game Week 34 player. So that's what I was going to say to you. Like, if you go on FPL.team, how are you going to navigate Game Week 34 blank? What does your team look like in Game Week 34 blank? I'll take a few comments as well.
Yeah.
We come in. I'll let you do that as well.
Yeah, I'll set that up.
Start Savinho, Guardiola, Sarr. I'd probably start Savinho. Is Potter, Thomas Frank worth an extra transfer or go straight to Glasner? What do you mean? Potter, Frank, this week. Potter has. I wouldn't go to Potter, I don't think, personally. I know the bit been up and down. Thomas Frank with Brentford against Chelsea, not sure. Glasner's got Palace, Brighton. I'll probably go Glasner. I still think Eddie Howe's the one to go for. I think Eddie Howe this week, Eddie Howe next week with a double, and then swap to someone like Arteta against Ipswich, or the double. Sorry, that's what I'd be doing. Can Rashford play in Europe? If no, will be used more in the league. I believe he can play in Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. Someone might correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, let's say you put in that transfer this week. Rodgers, bring him in for Fernandez. Because you're gonna have Rashford as well, or you want to bring Rashford in as well. So that's another blank play you'll have, right? So,
yeah.
All right, let's go to Game Week 32. What would you do here? Because see, you can roll. You got a couple of doublers there. You might not need to do anything, possibly. You might want extra Newcastle players. You might want to go for a Gordon or another Newcastle player because Newcastle double, a Palace double. So would you triple up on Palace?
I think for this week, it will have to be taken out one of the Brentford players. It's obviously,
all right. Who would you?
And sort of a headache with you, but I'll probably take it in Burma because he's a midfielder slot.
Okay.
And
would you want a doubler or?
Yeah, if I can afford this, if Gordon
You probably can.
That's viable. Then yeah, I'll switch him to Gordon. Obviously, play him over Wissa.
What's that? It leaves you the money in the bank.
That's 4.3. So
Okay.
yeah, easily
Okay.
affordable.
Going on to 33 then. This is another double. This is Arsenal, Villa. Would you bring in any more Villa players in, like a Rashford? Would you bring in Arsenal players? Because you've not got any Arsenal players when they double against Ipswich. And
yeah, so this will be the week I take out Palmer and bring in Saka.
Okay. You're happy with no Arsenal defence, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I want to see how they cope without Gabriel in defence of Arsenal, and if it is a struggle for them, then I think I'll be going without an Arsenal defender. I think I prefer the attack now that Saka is back in the team. We're going to see some more threat, I think, from the attack.
All right, how are you looking for this one, the 34 game week? This is one. It's interesting because everyone's going to be on a free hit. You won't. Would you have enough players, etc.?
So let's just see. So I'll just take off the players at blank and put them on the bench.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, currently other.
That's what I was saying, because bringing in the likes of these players that blank, Saka blanks in 34, it's not an ideal looking team. If you probably have to take a -4, -8 potentially to get a really good team. I mean, I don't know if you want to start Mikalenko against Chelsea. It's not ideal, but yeah. What would you do this week then? Because obviously, yeah, you will need to take a hit. Most likely, you got one free. You probably have to take a -8 potentially to get out at 11.
Yeah, I think with the fixtures,
and you won't be able to get Rashford in either because you don't have the transfers to do Rashford later on. So that's the other thing. If you bring Rodgers in now, you'll have to stick with that. Because where do you have the funds, or where do you have the transfers to bring Rashford in for the double? You'll have to take a -4 to get Rashford in.
Yeah, because that's another thing. It's either going to be Rodgers or Rashford in that case. Then I wouldn't have. It would be tough to fit in both of them. So I do have to choose wisely between the two, because we'll have to stick with that after double. In terms of this, though, I think I'll just have to take a -4 and take out 2 of the players at blank to make the 11 up, and just go with the fixtures that are currently there.
Who would you bring in? I know it's a way away, because in 35, Saka and Palace, etc., have decent fixtures, sort of thing. I believe Saka plays. I'm just trying to have a look who Saka played in 35. I think it's not. Might not be. Saka has Bournemouth, so it's not the easiest fixture, to be fair. And who knows at that time when the league might be wrapped up. And Palace have can't even see. Palace have Forest, so maybe you can get away with selling Sarr and Saka that week.
Yeah, because I only want Saka for the double. I don't think I want him after that. For when the double's also run out for him. So for Sarr,
I mean, you have to decide now, but I was just going to show you, like, bringing in these Villa and Man City assets and stuff. Obviously, it's going to put you in a bit of a position with you not having no free hit in 34. And then also another thing, in 36, there might be more doubles. So using transfers to bring in 36 could be a double game week as well. And 37, I believe, slight possibility. But yeah.
That I'll have to plan ahead and see.
Yeah, just some thought I'd throw out there, because obviously no free hit is going to be tough, I think, to navigate potentially. Coming back to my team though, obviously I do have a free hit, so I'm hoping to play that. But with me, the issue is now, Foden, I think, is a bit of a problem, and Kusanov, I think, is a bit of a problem. I want to see what happens with the fixture this week, Man United, Man City. If they don't play, then I may have to take a -4 to get rid of both, and deal with Gabriel, because I've got Gabriel who's out for the season. You've got Gabriel as well, haven't you?
No.
Or you don't? Okay.
I know Gabriel.
Can't you use a free hit? So Jordan doesn't have a free hit, Harry. I think you used it. Which game week did you use your free hit?
Oh, I still have my free hit.
Oh, you've got your free hit.
Yeah, free hit and bench boost are left.
Oh, okay. So you are free hitting in 34, right? Because I thought you had no free hit. Wait, what?
Yeah, I still got my free hit.
Wow,
So
I didn't
then,
think you had a free hit.
yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
you're fine then.
yeah. I think I was gonna free hit in 34 now instead of trying to navigate around it.
Yeah. Because I was thinking you're not going to free hit in 34. Because I think you said one time you're not going to free hit
Yeah,
in 34. So I thought you've not got it. Or if you've got it,
yeah,
then you might as well free hit in 34 then.
yeah. I wanted to see what the team would look like without a free hit, but it looks like I will have to. I think it'd be
Yeah.
easier free hitting instead of
Oh
taking a
yeah.
-4
You might as well
easily.
because it's gonna.
Yeah,
And yeah, you can bring in the likes of, but then it's the hits you want to take. You know, if you want to take hits on more players,
yeah,
like the double at Aston Villa. I'm trying to avoid hits, but I probably will have to take one because of Gabriel's injury now. Because I didn't think Gabriel would get injured
yeah.
for the rest of the season. That's a big spanner in the works.
Yeah, the only thing I don't have is my second wild card, which would be handy
Yeah,
this part of the season because I used that early on
yeah,
in game week 20.
yeah. Okay, cool. You've got bench boost though, right? I'm bench boosting 33. It looks like personally for me now. Do you have an idea roughly when you're bench boosting, or I mean, it's looking like 32 or 33 for most people.
Yeah, I think it's either 32 or 33. I have to see what the bench looks like. I think as
Mhm.
long as there's no injuries in the team, Vice is at the
What's
moment
your
currently,
team?
then
Also, let's pull up your team. Have you done your move, by the way? You confirmed Rogers or?
no, it's not confirmed yet. It's
All
just
right.
he's just sat there currently still.
All right. And are you also, I want to speak about captaincy. Obviously, I didn't get your thoughts. Are you locked on Salah or what's the situation? Because I think I'm going Isak this week. I'm backing against Salah.
Yeah, I'm backing against Salah still this week against Fulham. Tough fixture away, but I'm not going to be put off by him blanking last game week and Liverpool not really being
But are you
great.
gonna go Salah or
Yeah,
you're backing Salah?
yeah, I'm backing Salah.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go on Isak. I know he's got the flag around him at the moment, but we've seen some news that he should be fine for that. So I'm gonna take that. But yeah, Salah could easily, he can get a penalty, etc. We've seen it. He can just have a moment where he gets a couple of goals. So yeah, it's always risky, obviously going against Salah, but I think I'm gonna do it this week. Start 3 of Nico, Vardiol, Munoz, and Burn. So I'll start Munoz, Burn, and Vardiol, I think. And then 2 of Murphy, Savino, Saw. I'll start Murphy and Savino. So I using assistant manager this week to Eddie Howe, and I need to replace Gabriel. Who should I bring in? Probably Saliba. I think it's boring, but I'd go Gabriel to Saliba. Yeah, I'll let you try confirm your move, Jordan, if you want to confirm it, or you still want a bit of thinking time, or I'm
Yeah,
pretty set on rolling, I think.
yeah, we still got 20 minutes or so, so I think about it still. Just I think it's an important transfer to make in terms of who I want for a double for Aston Villa.
Yeah. Who you want for the double? Because I mean, you could still bring in Rashford later on, but you probably would mean taking a hit in game week 33.
Yeah. I think I might just bring in Roger and see what he can. I want to see what Rashford could do again after scoring the goal in the last fixture. This one is a bit more tougher, and I want to see how many minutes he does play as well. But he doesn't always play. He's not a 90-minute player like Rodgers is.
Fair enough. Any news about Chris Wood? Doesn't look like it. I'd probably get rid of him. Sadly, just got 5.6. Can't afford him. If you can't afford Saliba, then I think next best bet is probably go to. You might want a Newcastle defender for the double coming up, like a Dan Burn or a Livramento. Newcastle double in game 32. If not, then Nottingham Forest defender like a Milenkovic or a Nico Williams is fine. just try bringing as many doublers, I think, C-Man, because, Newcastle have that double coming up next week, which you might want to even roll it if you can this week and try save your transfer. Do you think we'll get any Saka news? I'm hoping we do, but we may not. I'm going to start Saka, I think. Sarr or Murphy? I think Murphy. And Vardy, Konsa, or Kirkes? I think I'd go. It's hard not to start Vardiol if you have him. So if you've got Vardiol, I think I still would start him. Kirkes, Arsenal. Well, not Arsenal. Sorry, who's Bournemouth got?
West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. I don't think I'll start Kirkes either, but I'd be tempted to just start Vardiol. But that's more because he's probably got the best attacking threat. I mean, he played as a centre back last game. I think he's much better when he plays left back for the attacking threat. So, yeah. I still think I'd play Vardiol. Thinking to do -4 this week. Gabriel and Livramento to Konza and Milenkovic. I wouldn't do a -4 for defenders. And AM Howe. Next week, then roll Gameweek 33 and bring in Rodgers and AM Arteta. Yeah, I don't like taking a -4 for 2 defenders, personally, because we don't get many clean sheets, so you'll have to guarantee one of them get a clean sheet, which it's not guaranteed because they play against each other, Konsa and Milinkovic, unless it's a 0-0. So I'm not keen on doing the hit for the defender transfers, if I'm being honest. What are you thinking anyway, Jordan?
Yeah, I think I'm dead certain on Rodgers now. So I will make the transfers to bring him in. So, yeah, Bruno Fernandes out for Rodgers for free transfer.
Okay.
And that is confirmed. So, yeah, that is a team locked in. Rodgers is in. Bruno Fernandes is out. Salah captain.
Okay, there you go, guys. That's the moves. Jordan's locked in. I'm pretty locked in as well on my transfers. I'm captaining Isak. Salah Vice. Foden, I'm starting him. Hoping he starts. If not, I've got Sarr on the bench. If Foden doesn't start, he probably will come off the bench, which would be frustrating. I've benched Kusanov. I'm going to see if Kusanov starts, then that'll be great for me because I can keep him for that double in 33. But yeah, that's the team sorted out. I need big from Mateta, like Mateta against Brighton. I need something different from these guys.
Yeah.
We'll bring up fixtures in a second. I mean, you got double Brentford against Chelsea, which is interesting. How do you think they can get something against Chelsea then?
You know what? I don't hate the move of having double Brentford because I know they have tough fixtures with Chelsea next and then Arsenal. But in Burma did score last game and Wissa got an assist. And I never thought that would actually happen against their fixture against Newcastle. So I think rolling with the Brentford duo is still viable, I think, for the time being.
Okay.
Because Chelsea haven't been up to their best either late stages of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how defensively poor they are.
I'm going to share my tab. I'm going to share the fixtures. Just bear with me. So these are the fixtures for Gameweek 31. We'll quickly do a quick review. Obviously, we've got the 5 games today. We'll do a little score prediction as well. You guys can join in the chat as well if you want. First up, we've got Everton at home to Arsenal. Now, obviously, Everton coming off the back of a 1-0 loss to Liverpool. Arsenal coming off the back of a 2-1 win against Fulham. How do you sort of see this one going? Obviously, Gabriel's injured, so we don't know what Arsenal are going to do. Will Arsenal have that one eye on the Champions League? Will Saka start? There's quite a few question marks about that.
Yeah, wondering how many minutes Saka starts or plays again today. It's an early kickoff, so anything can happen in this game. I think this is a game where everything possibly could bounce back into, especially about Gabriel and Arsenal. I I think Everton will be delighted for that. I'm going to go with an interesting prediction. 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I think it's
bold,
going to
man.
be a very surprising result today.
I think there could be points dropped as well, potentially, for Arsenal in this one. But I'm not going to back Everton. I think I'm going to back the draw. I'm going to go for 1-1 Everton and Arsenal. Moving on then to Palace. I've got triple Palace. I've benched Sarr this week, so I bet he goes and scores. He's got Brighton at home. Brighton coming off the back of a loss, I think. Did they lose last game week, Brighton?
Yeah, 3-0.
Yes, it's 3-0, wasn't it? So, yeah, how do you see this one going? Because
yeah, it was weird to see. Obviously, Crystal Palace drew at Southampton last week, and Brighton lost to Aston Villa last week. Tough one to call. I think this might be a draw. I think I'm looking at a 2-2 between them.
Okay.
Cancel each other out.
I'm going to go for... It's hard to say this game. It's hard to predict, I think. I'm going to back a Palace win. I'm going to go Palace 2-1. Next up, we've got Ipswich and Wolves. Obviously, it looks like Ipswich are going down pretty much. I think Wolves will just be safe, looking like that. How do you see this game going, Jordan?
Yeah, with that imminent relegation for Ipswich, there's not really much to play for, only for Ipswich to cause some trouble and drama for other teams.
9 points off the 9 points gap between Ipswich and Wolves, from 17th to 18th. I mean, they could close it to 6 points and then make it a bit interesting. Do you see Ipswich getting anything? I think. What was the last game with Ipswich? Did they get anything?
Yeah, they
did,
won against Bournemouth, I think.
Yeah.
2-1.
That was big for them.
Yeah, massive.
Do you see them?
Points.
I mean, they could close the gap to 6 points with 7 games to go, which would make it a bit more interesting.
They could if Wolves are not up to it this week, and they are playing at home too.
Yeah, Wolves have just had back-to-back wins though. I believe Wolves have 2 wins in a row for them.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we saw a clean sheet for them.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think away win for Wolves potentially. Not much in it though. I think it'll be like a 1-0 type game.
Okay, we're going Wolves 1-0. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think I'm gonna go for a draw. West Ham, Bournemouth next up. Bournemouth have actually, I mean, I don't know if you know, but Bournemouth have no wins, I think, in their last 5, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to double check that.
It's weird. It doesn't feel like they haven't had a win in the last 5.
Yep, it's not been great from Bournemouth. Sorry, no wins in their last 5, yeah, and only 1 win in their last 7. They've only beat Southampton. They beat Southampton in their last 7. Since they lost to Liverpool, you know, it's been Southampton they won. They lost to Wolves. They lost to Brighton. They drew to Tottenham. They lost to Brentford, and they lost to Ipswich as well. So it is sort of going a bit pear-shaped. Obviously, they've had a brilliant season. Do you hear them getting their first win in 5 against West Ham away, who have also struggled? I think with West Ham, they've got no wins in 3, but they did win back-to-back before that, I believe, against Arsenal. As well, an impressive win. So, bit of an interesting one, this one.
Yeah, I think for a win for Bournemouth, I think it's due to come. Yeah, against West Ham, it could be the team to do it.
I don't think Clivert's back, by the way. I think Clivert's still out. That was also a big miss for them.
I think, yeah, still without Clivert, it could be a win for them. Maybe not a massive win. Like we won't see that many goals without, I believe, Clivert. So if Evan Nilsson's up to the task in that game, possibly a 2-1 against them, 2-1 win away for Bournemouth.
Yeah, I was going to say 2-1 Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth probably turn it around. Obviously, no wins in 5. They're going to want to get European spots, etc. I mean, the league is very, very tight. I don't know if you've seen the table. It's a bit mad in the European places. So, yeah, I will back Bournemouth just to get the job done. Bournemouth are now in 10th, which is, they were pushing for like Europe. They're still in there. They're only, 6 points behind Man City in 5th, I think, or 7 points behind Man City in 5th, I should say. So, a lot to play for. Next up, Villa at home to Forest. This is a big one. I think it's a big game. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. We know Villa are 7th. Villa have won back-to-back games as well recently. And Forest have won 3 in a row. We know both these teams are fighting for Champions League places. I think 9 points gap between Villa and Forest. If Forest can pick up a win here, I think it's huge for their Champions League credentials as well. I mean, it looks like Forest will get Champions League. But we know Aston Villa aren't an easy team. They would also want to chase down Europe because at the moment, Aston Villa are only 3 points behind Man City. And Man City obviously are 5th. So, yeah, how do you see this one going, Jordan? Do you see Aston Villa getting back in the Champions League race with a win?
Yeah, there's a lot to play for both of these teams. Big game.
Because, yeah, if Villa win, they're level on points with Man City, assuming Man City lose, obviously, to Man United.
Yeah, so it's a tough one to call because I thought without Chris Wood against obviously Man United last game week, I thought Nottingham Forest would be flat struggle, but no, there was players that did step up to the task, like Langer and Morgan Gibbs-White. So again, it's a tough one to call. I think this will be a draw. It's going to be very hard for either side to get a win from this. So I'm going to go 1-1 for either side, the 1 point for each.
Okay, I'm going to back Villa here to get the win. I think Villa are going to get a win and then get themselves back into the mix of Champions League football. I know they've got PSG coming up, so they'll also have one eye on that possibly, but I think they will want to beat Forest. So I think they'll do it 2-1. I think Rodgers, Watkins, etc. I just think they'll do it. I wasn't massively impressed with Forest attack against Man United, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a great game. So if Forest win, that is huge as well for Forest, but I'm gonna back Villa. And that's the fixtures for Saturday done. Moving on to sort of Sunday's fixtures. First up, Brentford at home to Chelsea. This is another big one because Chelsea are also in the same boat with these Champions League teams. Chelsea have won obviously 3 wins in their last 5 for Chelsea, so slightly better form from them recently. They're on 52 points. They're 1 point in front of Man City in 5th, but they're only 2 points in front of Newcastle, who have a game in hand, Newcastle, by the way. So Chelsea need to keep up the wins because if they lose, Newcastle in their 2 game in hands, Chelsea could drop out top 5, I should say. So, yeah, how do you see Chelsea figuring, against Brentford?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for both sides. It could be a couple of goals for Brentford and for Chelsea. This battle. Hopefully, Palmer does get something, as he hasn't scored since game week for a few game weeks. I'm gonna go with a 3-2 Chelsea.
Oh, okay, big win. I'll be interested if there's that many goals in that game. So I'm gonna go for the tough one. Chelsea have been picking up, wins recently. Feels like, who did they lose to in game week 30? No, 29. Sorry, Chelsea lost in 29, didn't they?
Yeah, 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go Chelsea win. I think I'll just back 2-1 Chelsea, but I don't think it'll be easy. Yeah, it could go either way. Moving on to the next one, Fulham, Liverpool. Obviously, I think Liverpool now are just counting down when they win the league. They need, I think, 3 or 4 wins. Fulham, let's look at Fulham's forms. Fulham have 2 wins in their last 5. They just come off the back of that loss, obviously, to Arsenal. They could have got something in that game. Mooney is missing a couple of nice chances. Yeah, do you see Fulham doing anything? Because they're on 45 points. If they win, they can go level on points with Villa. So they are still sort of in the European places talk potentially. So they still obviously have something to play for. I mean, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, this one, I think at best there is a draw from this game, but it's going to be a tough one for obviously Fulham still because it will want to get the title done and dusted as early as they can, and obviously get the 3 points so they close the gap. I'll still go for Liverpool win there. I think 2-1 in the end. I think Fulham will score, but I think Liverpool will take the points.
Okay. Just a comment here: Captain Marmoush or stay safe with Salah. I wouldn't captain Marmoush or Salah because I've gone with Isak. So I'm Isak and Jordan's gone Salah. So
Yeah, I'll probably stay safe with Salah.
Start Konsa or Milenkovic. Probably Konsa because he's the home team. But Aston Villa's defense hasn't been great, this season. So you could be tempted with Milenkovic. It's a tough one, but I'm going to go Konsa for just back to home team. Okay, you've gone 2-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool could drop points. I think this could be a draw as well. I think Arsenal and Liverpool could draw. I'm not going to predict a draw for Liverpool though. I think Liverpool will get the job done. I think it'll be a tough one because Fulham are a decent team at home. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool as well, but yeah, I wouldn't be massively surprised if something like a draw happens. But yeah, I'm going to go Liverpool. Spurs at home to Southampton. Spurs have having a pretty horrid season. I think 1 win in their last 5 for Spurs. Southampton not much better. They're only on 10 points. Southampton are statistically, the worst team we've ever seen in Premier League. They're on 10 points. I think the worst record is 11 points by Derby in the 07-08 season. So Southampton would want to avoid that. They've got 8 games to pick up under 2 points, which I think they will do so they ensure they're not the worst team ever in Prem history in terms of points. How do you see this going? Do you think Spurs bounce back? Obviously, they just lost to Chelsea. Ange's under pressure, etc., etc.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of drama between the manager and the players. At the moment, it's quite a stagnant environment. I still think Spurs will get the job done, though, despite how terrible they've been this season. Southampton's still one of those teams that most teams can beat, despite whatever their form is. I still think Southampton will score, as they normally do, against any team, but I think Spurs will win it in the end. So I think 2-1 their game for Spurs.
I'm going to go 1-1 draw. I think more misery potentially on Spurs with Southampton picking up a point. So yeah, I'll back the 1-1 draw here. Moving on to probably the big one. Usually a big one, but I think this season with Man United being where they are, doesn't have that same sort of excitement. Maybe this fixture because Man United don't really have much to play for. Man City do obviously have Champions League places to play for. I'm looking at the form of the teams. Man United have 2 wins in their last 5. Man City have, again, similar 2 wins in their last 5. So, been a bit of an up and down season. Man United coming off the back of that loss to Forest. How do you see this one going, Jordan? Obviously, your team playing. Can you see Man United causing a bit of an upset with the way they've been playing recently? Do Man City march on, secure that Champions League spot?
Yeah, I don't really see much happening in this game. I think it'll be quite quiet, underwhelming. Not both teams have had a very tough season. I mean, the Man City has not been up to their best, and Man United are sort of in a bad loop. But they do turn up for big games like this, so it could be a surprise. I still think Man City will manage to get the win over Man United at home at Trafford. I think Man United poorer at home than they are away as well. So I think 2-1 Man City away win.
Okay, so you're going for Man United win?
2-1 Man City away win.
Man City win.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know what to think of this one.
With Man United.
I'm not confident with Man United either. Obviously, that narrow defeat. The problem with Man United is who's going to score the goals. Is the problem. You can't predict.
No.
There's some rumors actually. There's some rumors going around about Saka. Hold on. Let me bench Saka.
Oh, there's 2 minutes left of this deadline.
Just seen the rumors about Saka being benched.
Again,
yep.
Is it a
Saka
surprise?
or Sarr.
Yeah, is it a surprise to see Saka benched again?
Not really. Yes and no. yes and no, because obviously that Champions League game. Guys, Saka, you've seen me. I've just swapped out Saka now. Just letting you guys know. I'm benching Saka. I've seen some rumors flying around. Yeah. Again, Foden, I'm worried about, you know.
I'll be surprised if Foden doesn't start at all again for 2 back-to-back weeks. Because it is a big game still for Man City and where they are.
Hold on. Is the deadline over?
No, there's still time.
I've gone Salah cap.
It's
I've
now
just
over
seen.
now.
I went Salah cap last second.
What made you change your captaincy?
Good question. It's because I'm benching Saka. Minutes risk. Will Isak play 90?
That's a good question.
I'm just thinking now. Because
he is.
Saka will play. He'll come on. Maybe I've bottled it. Maybe I've bottled it, not captaining Isak.
Well, what a twist at the end of the deadline.
But yeah, I'm quite happy I've gone Salah, to be fair now, because I wanted to do Isak, but I just think I can't rely on minutes now because I've been burnt with Foden. Right, I've been burnt with Saka, even though he scored. Foden and Saka have spooked me now into going Salah in right at the end. But I'll really think Isak could score. I wouldn't be surprised if Isak does outscore Salah. I'll be honest, but I think Salah is the safe pick.
Yeah, because Isak could go off early if Newcastle winning like 3-0.
Yeah.
Or something big early on in the game. They scored 3 before half time. You could more likely see Isak going off early.
Yeah. Salah's not going to go off. Salah's playing 90 minutes no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've benched Saka, by the way, guys. I can't even show you my team because it's games updating. I literally switched to Salah 2 seconds left. Literally, Jordan. I don't know if it's saved, but he should have saved. So yeah, I'm good. I think I've captained Salah.
Well, I'm coming close to a while with that.
I just saw it ping up on my phone about the Saka news. But yeah, I don't know if that's true. The Saka stuff. It is just rumors.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was benched again, because Arteta won't want to risk Saka having a relapse. They're pretty much done in the Premier League. It'd be a waste to obviously have a Saka play too much minutes.
Yeah,
and they've still got Champions League.
Yeah,
where he could be more valuable in. So it does make sense.
Yeah, I'm worried now that I get punished by Saka or even, basically.
Yeah,
I
because
started Foden.
I think Foden will start today. I find it very surprising against Man United that he does not start.
Mm-hmm.
A big game for Man City.
I don't think Saka will start. I mean, we'll know anyway, shortly. I was on we were on predictions, weren't we? We were on Man United, Man City. So I think I'm gonna back. I don't know who to back in this one. If Man United had a goal scorer, if you had Ahmad or someone like that, I wouldn't be tempted to go maybe Man United. But I'm gonna go for Man City. Just I think 2-1 or something. No, I'm gonna go 1-0 Man City. Yeah, I'll go 1-0 Man City.
Yeah, because one thing Man United don't have is a Marmouche.
Yeah,
that's something we've missed for a while. And
then finally, Monday Night Football. Isak, obviously, we'll see how he gets on against Leicester away. What do you think of Leicester Newcastle?
It should be a comfortable win, I think, away for Newcastle. I think Leicester struggled with Van Nistelrooy.
Yep,
hasn't had much, I suppose.
I think no. I think they're 5 losses in a row. Leicester. I'm gonna double check. I can't even check actually because of the FPL site's down. I like usually checking on there, but yeah, 5 losses in a row.
Yeah.
For I think 7 losses in a row for Leicester.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Ruben Nistelrooy at the moment. His system's not really working. So I think Newcastle will win this. I'm going to say 3-0. I think they could clean sheet too.
Okay. I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle. Hopefully Isak doesn't punish our Salah, the captain, as too much because I've gone Salah now. Yeah. Okay, I'll go 2-0. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. Pretty much. That's the stream. Bit of a madness in the end. Me doing 2 big things, changing my mind on 2 big sort of decisions. Deciding to captain Salah instead, and then also benching Saka for Sarr in the end as well. Hopefully, Sarr can do something against Brighton, but not sure.
Oh, down the man. Bench Murphy. Triple Palace attack again. Gabriel to Saliba and activate the assistant manager. Popped up. Well,
yeah. Good luck to you, Dan. Hope you have a good game week.
Yeah, that's some big moves, big decisions. Hopefully, Crystal Palace should be more refreshed after the draw against Southampton.
Yeah. I'm already looking to do my transfers for Game Week 32 now because I'm gonna need to make a couple of moves. Probably won't be able to roll.
How long do we have till the next deadline?
I don't know when. Now we're back to a game a week, pretty much. So next Saturday.
That's good.
Again, next Saturday, Game Week 32, the Game Week 33 is another Saturday. There's no midweek games anymore. It's just, I believe, it's just Saturdays now. I'm a Game Week 35. There's a Friday night football in Game Week 35, Man City Wolves. But we are back to, 1 game a week, pretty much, for most teams that aren't in Europe. Obviously, the double game weeks are different because obviously Arsenal have a double, etc. in 33, which means they'll play midweek. Arsenal play Wednesday in the game week 33. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, likes of Liverpool, etc., just 1 game a week. I think fixtures are planned out now from 35. Just 36 and 37 fixtures aren't. I don't think they're done for TV yet, or 36, I should say. They're not done for TV. No, sorry, 36 is. My bad. I think 36 is. It's just Saturday fixtures aren't done for TV.
Yeah.
37 fixtures, obviously, not done for TV yet because depending on European results. But yeah, I think that's it, Jordan. We'll be back again tomorrow, guys, straight after the last fixture of the game week. Hope to see you guys soon. Hopefully you guys get a green arrow. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. And yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, take care, guys. Good luck and see you tomorrow.